Okay, so read this disclaimer first, please, guys. The clue's in the name of the channel. I'm an amateur, and I'm actually pretty bad. So nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. Don't act on anything. There could well be errors, there could be slips of the tongue, anything. Do your own research, seek your own professional advice. Don't listen to me. Okay, hi guys. So this section of the portfolio is going to be very quick. Oh, by the way, yes, sorry about the last video's audio. I dug out a really old voice recorder, and it just made a complete... It kept putting gaps, so I couldn't sync the audio to the screen. Alright, so this is the pink section. As you can see, it's just individual shares. Basically, I decided that it wasn't for me, individual shares, but I found it difficult to sell all of them for different reasons. Basically, I started off buying individual shares, and really, I wasn't putting the work into it. I was just pretty much on a whim. I'd like read an article that says, "Oh, this share's well valued" or whatever, and I'd just go and do it. I was being a complete idiot. So I wasn't putting the work in. I wasn't reading accounts and doing my own analysis, and but I mean, to make this video, I've just kind of collated some data to see how badly. I mean, I've always felt like I've done badly with individual shares, but I've just collated some data. So this spreadsheet here is all of my buys and my sells. The bold ones here are the ones that have actually sold, so I know the price I ended up getting for them. And here, this column is the gain I made. That's the percentage gain I made. And then lower down in the non-bold numbers here are the ones I still own. The prices aren't up to date, by the way. They're all really old prices. So what I've done is I've copied all of this into this sheet, into sheet 2 here, and I have deleted all of everything that's not an individual company. So as you can see here, here's all the ones I've sold, and here's the ones I still own. And as you can see, so I've had some successes. The thing is though, look at the time frame. I've gone from 8th of April 13 to 18th of June 13. I've sold Lloyd's and I've made a profit. That isn't investing, is it? That's trading. And again here with RBS, I bought it in, what was it, 2013, and sold at various points and made a decent profit. But again, it's not investing, is it? It's trading. So so I've added it all up, and obviously some losses here. I mean, these are where I've kind of made the decision to kind of move away from individual shares, and I've gradually got rid of them. But if I total it all up, of the ones I've sold, I've actually made about 7,765 quid. But then of the ones I haven't sold yet, I'm losing about 5 grand. So overall, I'm about 2,600 over what? 2013 to 2019. I'm 2.5 grand up, just over. Obviously, that doesn't tell the full story, because over here is the same thing. I've done the same thing. I've got a dividend spreadsheet here where I track the dividends coming in from everywhere, and I can kind of see what's coming next here, and I kind of log it here. I've done the same thing. I've copied this and then only kept the individual companies. So as well as the 2,600 I've made, I've also made about 9.5 grand in dividends. So in total, I've made 12,100 from all the individual shares I've bought and sold, and the ones I've still held on to. But it's things like, even if it's not quite as bad as I thought, because mentally in my head I'm thinking to myself, up until about 10 minutes ago, I'm thinking to myself, I've probably lost money on individual shares. So it's not as bad as I thought 10 minutes ago, but it was kind of, I don't know, it felt like it was bad, and it felt like I was always wanting to sell, and my tendency, as you can see, was to sell the ones that made money. As soon as I made a decent, half-decent profit, I was selling, and that's not the right way to invest. And then obviously here I decided to start selling everything, but these ones are just, for some reason, I couldn't sell them. Barclays, I'm just too stubborn. I'm an idiot. I know. I've known for years I should have sold it, but they say you can be your own worst enemy in investing, and I think on Barclays I am. GSK, I kind of want to hold it because it's doing well, to be honest, and I don't know, I feel good about GSK. So with these leftover ones, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shares, and kind of, well, this one's a bit different. I'll talk about that in a sec. So these 4 individual shares are kind of the ones that I'm thinking, oh, I kind of like Shell, I kind of like GSK, but Barclays is so far down, I want to make a success of it by being really patient. The other thing about these shares that makes it a little bit difficult to sell them is the dividend yields on them. Look at that. It's quite tricky. It's hard for me to sell something that yields 7% because the alternatives are going to reduce my income, and it will mean that I'll have to take more from capital, especially with RBS. I mean, Barclays, the other ones, I could probably replace them with some of these 3, or Henderson Forest Income, or some other investment trusts that I'm thinking about. But it is kind of a goal to kind of reduce my income voluntarily. But again, that's another thing where I know intellectually that reducing my income isn't necessarily a bad thing, because the capital could and probably would do better. What did I have up here in the past? RBS, Tesco? Oh yeah, I bought that the day after the accounting scandal. There was an accounting scandal that came to light and the share price dropped. As you can see, 20% is pretty good actually. But again, it's a trade, isn't it? It's less than a year I own that for. But it was a bit of fun, I suppose. It was kind of, I don't know. TSB, oh yeah, I bought TSB, and then they got took over by a Spanish bank, was it? So that's why the price I sold it at, this is the price column that I sold it at, that's why the price is such a round number, because it was taken over by someone. Taylor Wimpey, I bought, yeah, that was a good one, that, 68% up. And actually the share price now is below 191 that I sold it at, so it was trading, but it was a good result. But then, you know, your good results get wiped out by really bad results like this. But actually I think that turned out to be a good decision to sell. I should really take that lesson into Barclays and RBS, shouldn't I? Because when I sold that, it was difficult to sell it at such a big loss, but actually I'm not even sure that it's recovered back to that price yet. Let's see. I feel oh, hang on, I think Lowland owns Standard. I think Lowland owns Standard Chartered, so that'll be a quick way into it, I think. Standard Chartered, 2.33. Yeah, look at that, 694 the price is now, and I sold it at 882. So it was difficult to do that, but look how good, it was a really good decision in hindsight. I won't look into all of them. Morrison's owned for a while, so yeah, these were very small losses. That was obviously when I decided to sell all my individual companies, and because these were pretty, you know, not a massive loss, it was an easy decision to make to sell. BG Group, I bought BG Group, and then Shell took them over. I bought them after Shell had decided, kind of agreed to take them over. So I bought the shares of BG Group, and I then got a bit of cash back, and I got the Shell shares that I own here. And it ended up giving you a discount on the Shell shares. They were down for quite a while, but then they recovered and are doing pretty well now. Yeah, and as you can see, that GSK stake I've actually halved at one point, so I did have a much bigger stake in GSK. Sold them at a 10% gain. Anyway, that's what's left, and at some point I probably will sell them and just put them into these ones that I'm much more comfortable with. So this one, Standard Life Investment Property Income. I've kind of categorised it as an individual company. It's lots of different commercial properties that pay income, etc. But I figured I don't like to classify it with all of the other collective investments, because it's just one it's one, what's the asset class, I suppose. It's just buildings. It's all buildings in the UK. I presume they're all in the UK. That's why I've classified it as that. I probably will sell this. I'm hoping for some sort of Brexit boost, basically, where the UK stocks, like property stocks, have a bit of a boost when we finally see that Brexit, even if it's going to be bad Brexit, the fact that we'll know how Brexit's going to go will hopefully boost the UK stocks, because they say uncertainty is the worst thing in markets, and even if they know something, even if that thing is bad, at least it's better than not knowing at all. So I'm hoping for some sort of boost, and I probably will get rid of that soonish. And who knows, at some point The 2 banks I'll probably get rid of, but I don't know. I'm just going to be stubborn with these last few, I think, for a while. Anyway, there's portfolio, pink portfolio overview, and it was still 10 minutes long. Should have been way shorter. Alright, see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.